Hello, everybody. This is Prince Obioha Ezagundibo, your host at Original Creators. I want to welcome y'all to the year 2020. It's a new year. The countdown's already begun. But there's something I want to talk to you all about today, and I'd like to call it 2020 vision. Now, some of y'all might, be familiar with the phrase 2020 vision, and under the context of what opticians like to call, the normal human clear vision, the clearest that the average human can see with their eyes. But that's not what I'm talking about. When I talk about 2020 vision, I'm talking about, how best can one really maximize their potential? How best can you go about achieving the goals that you set for yourself, the targets you want to reach, the milestones you want to cross. You hear a lot of people at this time of year talking about their New Year's resolution and things of that nature. It's like you go through the previous 365 days, and the average person at the end of that year feels that they perhaps didn't reach every target they had set for themselves at the beginning. And so they start the whole process all over again, with a New Year's resolution. But, the thought, I looked at this and I felt, look, this is not an efficient way of going about this thing, this process of life. And the reason, when you look at it critically, the reason why so many, keep going over this process of, restating a New Year's resolution at the beginning of every year is because when you look at it introspectively, you find that the average person is not living life in a state of awareness. What do I mean by awareness? I mean, if you are fully conscious of your thought processes, if you're fully conscious of the decisions you make and the repercussions thereof, if you're fully conscious of what you do every day, how you spend your money, how you spend your time, the things that you invest your time and resources into, you'd be able to keep track of your progress, at every given moment, and be able to take corrective measures wherever the need arises. But if you find that you're in a state of, what will I call it? Autopilot. Let's call it autopilot, because frankly speaking, if you're just going through life, going through the motions, and not really taking stock of how you're living, then obviously at the end of the year, you're going to be like, oh, it's December already, or, the year just went by. What have I accomplished? What have I done with all this time? So people really, we really need to get back, take a step back from that, from the board, and really take a deeper look into our being, into how we live our lives on the day to day. I believe, not even believe, I know for a fact from my experiences that if we begin to honor every single moment of every day, we would not have any need to restate New Year's resolutions at the beginning of every year, because we would understand that, to begin with, time is an illusion. We control time. We human beings actually established the concept of time. It's not, we have the seasons and all that, but we set up the counting measures, the days, the hours, the minutes, the seconds. So this construct was set up to serve us and our purposes and needs, and not the other way around. We're not subject to time. Time is subject to us, but only if we are living in a state of awareness. You've got to be aware of who you are. You've got to be aware of everything. How many times do you sit back and actually listen to yourself breathe? Just in a state of observing that process of you exchanging, oxygen and carbon dioxide with, the environment around you. things like that. I mean, you're drinking water or some other liquid, and how many times do you actually, just quiet yourself and feel that liquid going down your throat, feeling the sensations, trying to observe what it's doing in your body as it's going down. Same when you're eating. I mean, this, some call it mindfulness, practicing mindfulness. It's really important, because when we develop that discipline to be aware of our environment, aware of ourselves and how we're interacting with that environment or whatever situation we find ourselves in, then we're at a better, we put ourselves up to be more efficient, because we can be able to identify problems even before they occur and take the necessary steps to either correct them or capitalize off them for our benefit and the benefit of those around us. This is a very important topic that we really need to take time and look into on a personal level, and even as a community. But it all starts with the person. When each of us can develop that state of mindfulness, that state of awareness, we would be a lot more productive, a lot more creative. There'll be less waste, and less waste of our time, of our resources and things of that nature. So this is something that I really wanted to share with you. It's something that we need to have at the back of our minds as we proceed into this new year. That's the only way, literally, that we can break the cycle. Because if you continue with the way you've been living hitherto, nothing's going to change. I mean, you set a New Year's resolution, but your daily modus operandi is still the same as it's been the past year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So nothing's going to change. At this time next year, you're still going to be in the same state of, oh, what just happened? The whole year just blew past you and you didn't even notice it because you weren't aware. People, let's take ourselves seriously. Let's really begin to introspect. Let's begin to look at life and at the way we live, the way we go through every moment of every day. It's very important, because when you take stock of these things, when you take stock of how you spend your time, the things you invest your time in, and then you ask yourself, how is this contributing towards my advancement? How is this contributing towards me getting my goals, accomplished? If we can take stock of this every moment, every minute, you got 60 seconds makes a minute. I mean, check it, man. I mean, you know how many thoughts go through your mind in the space of 60 seconds? That's a whole lot of thinking going on, and a whole lot, billion-dollar ideas, come up from just a split-second thought. And you got thousands of thoughts screaming through your mind every minute. So we got to be mindful of these things. We have to be mindful of this body that we wear. This physical body we wear is a tool at our disposal. The mind that we have is a tool at our disposal. How are you using it? You've got to be aware of these things. Don't just go through life like a zombie on autopilot or being remote controlled by circumstances and policies of the government or the environment that you grow on. By the way, your environment is a reflection of your mind. Take it or leave it. Because if you transform your mind, if you become more aware of your daily processes, it's going to affect the environment that you're in, because that positive transformation going on within you is going to affect everything around you like a domino, hitting down a stack of other dominoes. That's just how life works, people. So I'm going to stop here for now. Thank you for listening to this video. And there's going to be a whole lot more great content coming up through this channel. So if you're new to the channel, I welcome you once again. And hit that subscribe button so you can get more great content like this. Sharing my thought processes and my journey towards becoming a beacon of wealth and progress. I'm weaving a new reality from the Equator people, and we all got to play our parts in making that happen. So thank you once again, people. It's Prince Obioha from Bo Original Creators. Peace.